In 2013, the Los Angeles Police Department released a 2.5-minute surveillance video from inside an elevator at the infamous Cecil Hotel. In it, 21-year-old Canadian tourist Elisa Lam steps inside, but her behavior is completely perplexing. She presses a vertical column of multiple floor buttons, yet the heavy metal doors refuse to close. She peers frantically down the hallway, steps out, and retreats back into the corner, as if trying to hide from someone or something. At one point, her hands move in strange, fluid waves, gesturing to an empty corridor. It would be the last known sighting of Elisa Lam alive. Days later, hotel guests began complaining about low water pressure and a strange taste and odor coming from the taps. On February 19th, a maintenance worker climbed to the roof to check the hotel's massive water supply tanks. Inside one of them, they discovered Elisa's body. The internet exploded with conspiracy theories alleging foul play or even paranormal activity. However, the official autopsy report brought a heartbreaking clarity to the mystery. The Los Angeles County coroner ruled her tragic death an accidental drowning, with her severe bipolar disorder listed as a significant factor. Investigators concluded that she likely suffered a severe manic episode, leading her to climb onto the roof and into the tank entirely on her own, leaving behind a haunting digital footprint that the world can never forget. On January 24, 2006, 24-year-old finance manager Jennifer Kesse vanished from her apartment in Orlando, Florida. 2 days later, her black Chevy Malibu was found abandoned at a condominium complex just 1 mile down the road. Inside the vehicle, police found her valuables untouched, strongly suggesting she was not the victim of a random robbery or carjacking. Surveillance footage from the complex captured an unknown person parking the car, waiting approximately 30 seconds, and then walking away without ever looking back. But the video contains a deeply frustrating twist, because the camera only took a photo once every 3 seconds. The complex fencing completely obscured the driver's face in every single frame, leaving their identity and even their gender a complete mystery. Prior to her disappearance, Jennifer had confided in friends that construction workers at her building made her feel incredibly uneasy. The complex was brand new, and workers were actually permitted to stay inside the unoccupied units. For nearly 20 years, speculation has swirled that one of these workers abducted Jennifer as she left for work, though no physical evidence ever linked them to the crime. But this long-standing mystery is gaining sudden momentum. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement recently declared that the case is officially no longer cold. Investigators have discovered previously untested DNA evidence and have dramatically narrowed their search down to a few core individuals, utilizing modern artificial intelligence to analyze that infamous surveillance footage and providing the strongest hope yet that the world will finally get answers for Jennifer. In 2014, 8-year-old Relisha Rudd vanished from Washington, D.C. She had been living with her family at a local shelter where she was befriended by a 51-year-old janitor named Khalil Tatum. In a massive systemic failure, Relisha missed school for more than 2 weeks before anyone realized she was actually missing. When police finally launched an investigation, they uncovered a chilling piece of hotel surveillance footage from February 26th. On the tape, Relisha is seen walking down a hallway at a Holiday Inn Express, wearing pink boots and a purple jacket, alongside Tatum. Days later, on March 1st, a second camera captured her walking with Tatum into a room at a Days Inn. It would be the last known sighting of Relisha Rudd alive. The next day, surveillance cameras at a nearby store captured Tatum purchasing a shovel, lime, and 42-gallon contractor trash bags before he was seen entering Kenilworth Park. The case took a violent turn when police found Tatum's wife shot to death in a Maryland motel room, making Tatum a wanted fugitive. But before law enforcement could arrest him, Tatum was found dead in a park shed from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. More than 12 years later, Relisha's body has never been found, and the case remains open. Investigators believe Tatum killed the young girl before taking his own life, leaving behind a lingering mystery and a city that refuses to stop searching for DC's baby. On June 17, 2015, a motion-activated security camera outside the historic Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, captured a chilling digital trail. At exactly 8:17 p.m., the camera recorded a black Hyundai pulling into a parking space. A 21-year-old man, identified as Dylann Roof, stepped out of the vehicle. He was wearing a gray, long-sleeve shirt, jeans, and his distinct bowl haircut, carrying a fanny pack as he walked calmly into the church's evening Bible study. For nearly an hour, Roof sat inside with the congregants before drawing a weapon and committing a horrific mass shooting. At 9:07 p.m., the security camera triggered once again as the side doors eased open. The footage captured Roof cautiously scanning the empty exterior before stepping out and heading back to his car. But this time, in his right hand, the camera clearly documented a black .45 caliber handgun. This surveillance video became the critical linchpin for law enforcement, allowing them to identify the suspect and capture him the very next day, leaving behind a stark and permanent record of the tragedy. On April 18, 2016, a highly disturbing series of events unfolded inside the Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian, Texas. At roughly 4 a.m., motion-activated security cameras captured an unknown individual wandering the empty hallways. The suspect's appearance was deeply bizarre. They were dressed from head to toe in full police-style tactical gear, including a black helmet, a heavy vest emblazoned with the word police, and thick gloves. The extended surveillance footage shows the person casually walking through the church, carrying a hammer, and using a pry bar to break glass and force open doors. Investigators noted that the suspect had a highly distinct labored walking gait, with their right foot noticeably turning outward. At 4:18 a.m., 45-year-old fitness instructor Missy Bevers arrived at the church to set up an early morning exercise class. She walked inside, entirely unaware that someone was waiting in the dark. Her body was discovered a short time later by her arriving students. The case instantly became a global mystery, largely due to the frustrating limitations of the video. Despite the clear view of the suspect's movements, the heavy helmet and facial visor completely obscured their identity, leaving investigators unable to even determine the killer's gender. Furthermore, absolutely nothing was stolen from the church, and Missy's valuables were left entirely untouched, leading police to believe she was deliberately targeted. A decade later, the Midlothian Police Department, alongside the FBI and the Texas Rangers, still actively treat this case as an open, fluid investigation, utilizing modern forensic advancements to find the person behind the tactical mask. On May 5, 2017, a dashcam mounted on a London double-decker bus captured a terrifying, unprovoked assault. At roughly 7:40 a.m., a 33-year-old woman was walking across Putney Bridge when a male jogger ran directly toward her. Without warning, the man suddenly shicked and forcefully shoved her off the pavement, sending her flying directly into the path of an oncoming bus. The vehicle was traveling at full speed, and it was only due to the astonishing split-second reflexes of the bus driver, who swerved dramatically into the next lane, that her life was saved. In May of 2026, an unbelievable dashboard camera recording captured a moment of absolute terror on the New Jersey Turnpike. United Airlines Flight 169, a massive Boeing 767 flying in from Venice, Italy, was making its final descent into Newark Liberty International Airport. Because of severe, gusty winds, air traffic control diverted the plane to runway 29, the absolute shortest runway at the entire airport. To make the landing work, the aircraft had to come in at a much steeper, lower angle than usual. Just past the runway threshold sits multiple lanes of heavily congested highway traffic. Traveling at an incredible 160 miles per hour, the plane came down far too low. Inside the cab of a commercial delivery truck driving down the turnpike, the driver's dashcam was rolling. The footage captures the driver completely unaware, casually singing to himself, when he suddenly glances to his right in sheer terror. The massive underbelly and a landing gear tire of the passenger jet slammed directly into the top of the truck at full speed, exploding the windshield into a cloud of flying glass shards and debris. The jet also clips a heavy metal streetlight pole, sending it crashing down onto a nearby Jeep. Miraculously, the driver survived with almost no injuries and the plane landed safely. In March of 2022, YouTuber Jared Coker uploaded a 30-minute video documenting his return to a massive abandoned factory in Wichita, Kansas. At first, it looks like standard urban exploration, but the video quickly takes an incredibly dark turn. While navigating the upper floors of the factory, Jared spots a car pull at the gate of the factory. He tries to quietly sneak back toward the exit when a deafening crack echoes violently through the air. The property owner wasn't just patrolling, he had stepped out of his vehicle and fired a shot directly into the building. Jared begins to make his exit, walking on an open field, desperate to reach a nearby creek line to escape, but the owner intercepts him.
Right there.
Oh.
Who else is with you?
Oh, it's just me. You scared me to death.
Okay. Get over there now.
What?
Sit down. Give you handcuffs.
Huh?
Put them on.
Jared was confused, but he obeyed him. The owner openly brags about shooting at trespassers to make them run, holding Jared captive on the grass while they wait for the police to arrive.
See people, I shoot at them. If they run, you shoot. There you go. Okay?
Is there someone else here?
Yeah.
While the cops were taking Jared to jail for trespassing, things got way worse back at the factory. Two other teenagers walked up to the building, having no idea what just happened. The owner had literally told the cops right to their faces that if he saw anyone else that night, he was going to shoot them. The cops left anyway, and just a few minutes later, a call came over the police radio. The guy actually did it. He shot at the two teenagers and sent them both to the hospital. But here's the crazy part. The bullets were actually blanks, and he was just using a blank gun to scare people, but the blast still hurt them enough to need a doctor. In 2010, a YouTuber named DJ Def Joey uploaded one of the most deeply unsettling videos in the history of the platform. The title was completely blunt: "My dead great-grandma's coffin in my own backyard." At first, viewers assumed it was just clickbait, but the actual footage left people completely frozen in shock. In the video, a man walks out into his normal residential backyard and approaches a designated area tucked away from public view. On the ground sits a large blue plastic tarp. He pulls the tarp away, revealing a heavy metallic burial casket just sitting out in the open grass. Even stranger, the man starts some kind of ritual that involves getting close to the body and kissing it. I couldn't find any evidence that this video is fake, but I certainly hope it is.